Hi all, Hal here with more Empyrion Galactic Survival. And for the folks who weren't here for the live stream on Friday, well, yeah, hope you had a great weekend. For everybody else that was there, I know you had a great weekend. So, yeah, especially since the Friday started the weekend off with a live stream where you got to watch me build a very large portion of the station. We added, I think it was close, I think the final count was another 3,000 blocks. I know there was at least 2,000 of the normal blocks, and then probably a couple hundred of everything else. So, but yeah. So just to give you a quick update of what's been going on, as you saw, I've reorganized the cockpit. You now have a work area below the cockpit area. So you have a command deck, you have an engineering station. Normal setup for the constructors is, you know, raw materials, first tier processed, final process. A lot of storage. We've added lights everywhere. I think I showed the lights off last week, but you know, just so you know, the guest slash reception area is out there. So if you have a shuttle full of people coming up from the planet or going out to the planet on an excursion, this is where you would process through. It's just like on a cruise ship. You've got the last minute or first stop, depending on which way you're heading. We'll head back out here. As you can see, I've also put in doors and lights everywhere. We'll get to the area behind me in a second. This is going to be the general, like the common areas. I'm planning on turning this into more of a garden area, not necessarily for like not for growing things, but definitely for putting in like potted plants, you know, the loungers, that type of thing, TVs, you know, this stuff that people would have if they were just out in like a little community center area, communal area, you know. For the folks that are interested in watching people coming or going, you have the windows looking into that area. You've got the windows looking out, and I mean, you have a beautiful, beautiful view. You've got the planets, you got the moons, you have deep space, and as things are added, you're going to have more things to see. This is a fully mobile base. It is a giant CV, so you will be able to relocate it. Coming over here, I actually need to finish working on this as well. This is my interior lighting, specifically for the lower deck, will be more in line with this. Where you have the lights below the deck, or in this case above the deck, and then you have a grate above it to keep you separated from the area there. For the deck above, because the entire roof of that deck is going to be windows, we don't really have the ability to place lights above, so we're going to need to do them from the lower area. So we're going to have that walkway above that's also, both of these are transparent windows on this side as well as the upper side. And that just lets you use the light on both the upper and lower decks. Again, for the folks who weren't here for Friday, I have added 3 more gravity generators. 3? So there's a total of 4 now. There's one in the flight deck, there's one in the center, and then one for the arm on the other side, and one on this arm, which is the farming and food area. And as you can see, I have planted some things. We've got, you know, a little bit of stuff growing over here. The gravity generator, obviously. And I do need to finish this area. Did I bring any blocks? I only have 2 blocks with me. I need to make more blocks. I'm starting to run out of iron again. Big surprise, right? So this is obviously going to be windows all the way across the top. As you can see, we've continued the theme with the way that we have the sawtooth appearance. Let's head on out this way. So for the folks that were here for Friday's live stream, as you can see, I have been continuing. I've actually finished the back half of this arm. We're now done on 5 sides, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. We have finished 6 sides of the outer frame. We've got the upper edge for this frame done, and then on this side and the back side, there's going to be more gun emplacements like the one I put over the door here. I'm not going to put one over this door because when you have them that close together, they tend to interfere with each other. So what I'm going to do is to try and keep them far enough apart where they're not in direct conflict with each other, but are able to still support each other. So putting one here and putting one on the back side will allow me to do that. It gives me 2 points of defense on this building as well. I may put a third one on this side. I haven't decided yet. I don't know if I want to break up all of the surfaces like that. I think I might, just to give it a little bit more, like a little bit of an interesting detail here in the middle. And it does increase the defenses on the base. So, because what I want to do is, once this thing is done, I'm going to go through and clear out all of the hostile drones. All of them. I am not going to take this into direct conflict with one of the bases. There's just too many guns that can concentrate fire on you. So yeah, but this is what it's looking like so far. For the folks who haven't heard yet, what I'm going to be doing is the under area here will actually be the same style dome as what's on top, but instead of being glass, it'll be all block. Mainly because what I'm doing is I'm going to hide the thrusters. None of the engines will be visible when I'm done. That way the whole thing is self-contained. There will be workspace down here below each of the compartments, and I'm going to set up a series of tubes or walkways between all of the areas, so that way if you need to get around in the ship quickly, you can actually just drop down into the maintenance crawl spaces and run wherever you need to go within the ship. Just to keep it nice, simple, and somewhat compact. So yeah, we did finish the 0G meditation room, or what everyone has decided is the 0G meditation room. I still haven't decided on whether or not I'm going to put in a gravity generator in here. Right now it is 0G, completely 0G, but it is completely enclosed, so there's, you're not going to fall out of the ship if you're back here and the ship is moving. I was also toying around with the idea of putting the gravity generator on this side to see if I could basically influence which direction the gravity was working on the stations and stuff. But I don't know how well that's going to work, so we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, that's most of it there. We now have the hangar area. I do need to create more lights to make this a full runway. I'm going to go pick up my coloration tool, and we're going to start putting in the lines and things on this side so that we can show that it is done. The sawtooth pattern is going to continue across here, just like we did on the front side. And the idea is that if they ever put an actual hangar door in, we'll have hangar doors here as well, so we'll be able to close this off. But for the time being, we'll leave it like it is. On this side, what I'm planning on doing, I was thinking I was going to make it a hangar area for fighters. So basically, you would come in, taxi, and then bring your ship through, park it somewhere over here. But I'm thinking I'm going to use this as a landing pad for the larger craft. This way, if I have like the turtle, when I bring the turtle up, I'll be able to land the turtle over here, and we'll have spaces basically. Originally what I was going to do was to make this a habitation module, so that if there was multiplayer, or if we ever port something like this over to multiplayer, everybody would be able to basically have a spot. But what I didn't like was that you'd have habitation on the other side of the hangar space, because this is your runway and primary hangar storage. We're going to have some fighters that will be stored in here, and the idea is that I didn't want this to be an issue where if you had to get across and it is multiplayer. I have a feeling that if you're doing this in multiplayer and you get hit by a ship, it's going to hurt. So yeah, that should be shouldn't require pointing out, but it's one of those. Yeah, I didn't want that. I'm actually going to leave this solid, unlike what I did on the other side. I put windows here on the other side, and this side's going to be solid because it is a hangar. We'll leave that open for windows, just to get the light and to give you a bit of a view. But yeah, I'm going to come back and put the blocks in here and finish that off. Yeah, I did use the last of the blocks. Okay. As you see here, another gun emplacement. So yeah, we'll have a large landing pad the small hangar, and then inside the ship you've got the community area. As you may have seen, let's go back this way. As you may see here, what we did is we put windows to seal off the that component. So when you're inside, you can actually watch the ships coming in and taking off. So if there's anything going on the flight deck, you'll be able to watch it if you really choose to. We did put in a second reception area. So this is basically the flight control area. So for basically if there's ship control, like ship traffic control, whatever you want to call it. On real world it would be air traffic control, but in this case space traffic control, I guess. There will be another door here, and as you can see, we went ahead and did the more of the transparent windows as scaffolding to make it like a gantry area. This way you can still see through. It doesn't close the space off, and it keeps it from getting a little too claustrophobic. When I did these as solid bricks, it got really tight in here as the feeling of it, and I wanted to keep that open feeling for it. So, and then obviously the controllers will have view out into this area as well. So I'm thinking it's going to be just a general security and control office, because we have one on both sides. Yeah, one over here, and this one actually has an elevator. So again, it's just to keep that area as open as possible. And because this one is tied into the engineering area, I figured it would be better to have a single point that makes it really difficult to get in and out, in the case you get boarded. So, yeah, that is the ship as it stands currently, or as it floats currently. This area we've started updating. You've got an engineer. I still haven't decided if I'm going to make this a true engineering section, or if I'm going to do it like what I was talking about over the weekend was having it more like Babylon 5, where you have that central marketplace surrounded by everything that is going on. So you have your community areas outside. This would be the area where everybody comes to trade food or to trade objects. Like if you've got some kind of trade system going on, or you've got merchants, that type of thing would be going on in here. But I still haven't decided what I really want to do with this. As you can see, I do have it set up for some minor crafting currently, at least for food. And that's one of the reasons why I was thinking I might make this like like a diner slash, cafeteria, something. But not really sure. So, yeah. But that's pretty much it for the way the ship is going right now. Turtles on this side. So, one of the things that I will be doing is to put another set of blocks here to close this off. And what I want to do is make this an emergency airlock place. So if you had to abandon ship, you'd be able to come through the first door, or come through the second door, and you're in the hangar. So, not generally intended to be a main path of transit. To get into the ship, you have to come through the security offices. Alright, so with that done, let's see. Just show you the way the cockpit's looking now. I am probably going to replace these with the triangle pieces like we have everywhere else, because these just kind of stand out here. But I do like them because it's a different angle for the ship. And then we have the... How did you get overlooked? Alright. We are going to substitute this really quick. Alright, there we go. That's better. Everything in its place, and a place for everything. So yeah, and like I said, with the engines, what I'll be doing is I'll be changing the maneuvering thrusters and the engine locations to bring them inside, because I want them inside a protected dome. That way we don't risk losing them. So yeah, but that is the base as it stands currently. Let's go down here and see if there's anything that we still need from this area, Because if not, I'm gonna salvage this stuff, I think. Yep. Oh, look at that. We actually have power. Alright. I'm not gonna do the whole salvage on screen, but I am gonna get the couple of major components. On that. And that. So what I had thought about doing was that once the ship is done, is going ahead and creating a base here. But I really don't want to go through the hassle of building the base right now. It will probably be a while before I actually build anything large in the game again. I've got some ideas for new builds already, but they're not anywhere near the scale of ridiculousness. Because I mean, come on, this base, this CV is rather ridiculous. I mean, this thing is just massively overbuilt. And that's that. Okay. Like I said, I really just wanted to grab the lights off of this thing. And there's none on this side, right? Yeah, okay. I don't know if I'll be able to get rid of the new base marker even after all of the ship is reclaimed. I think it's going to leave it there. I hope not, but oh well. It'll be my luck if it does. So yeah. Alright, so I'm going to head back to Omicron, and while we're in transit, I'm going to go ahead and call this episode here. When we come back, hopefully I'll have a few more supplies for the base. I'm planning on going pick up some more silicon and iron off of Omicron. I have used pretty much all of the iron. I have used all the iron on Aqua. And currently, I am looking for more silicon over there as well. I've used probably about half of the silicon, as well as all of the iron. So, yeah, I'm eating resources like M&Ms, man. These things, it is crazy. So, on that note, I am going to go ahead and call it here. I hope you all have a fantastic week. I know it's Monday afternoon for us, so... yeah, with that said, take care, everybody. If you haven't done so already and you enjoyed the episode, make sure you hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, I do recommend you subscribe because it'll keep you up to date when new content comes out, as well as when I go live on either Twitch or YouTube. And if you have any comments or questions, suggestions, whatever, throw it in the comments section. That's what it's there for. Let it do its job. All right, everybody. I hope you have a fantastic day, a terrific week. Take care, and as always, be safe out there.